Well, this episode certainly threw me a loop. I was fully expecting, much like 73 Yards, to not like Dot and Bubble, even going so far to predict that it would be the weakest of the season and should have been cut to make room for a guest writer episode. But after a couple of rewatches, not only do I find that I really like this story, but it might be the best of the season, and I'm not sure what to make of that. It's very much a classic McCoy style bubblegum horror with very light surface level elements which are used to disguise a much darker undertone, and it's done really effectively. The episode that immediately springs to mind is the Happiness Patrol, especially given its mature subject matter. To begin with, I want to give props to Callie Cook as our main focus, who does a great job playing a annoying but somewhat rootable character for the most part until the very end when we realise we're supposed to detest her. I appreciate how on rewatches it's much more obvious to tell what her deal is, but I do think I managed to spot some of the microaggressions she threw at the Doctor and Ruby. And speaking of them, I'm glad that even though this is technically a Doctor Light story, the format with the screens does allow the Doctor and Ruby to still have an active presence and role in the episode, especially given that Ncuti easily has the strongest part at the end, which is really tough to sit through, but I'll come back to that. First, I want to say that my least favourite aspect of the story, the only nitpick I have, is that the man traps were kind of redundant. They served their purpose well, but they probably could have been cut, considering what the dots can do themselves. They feel like just a monster for the sake of a monster, but it doesn't break the story not having a satisfying explanation for them. But going back to the ending, what I loved about it or appreciated is not only does it reinforce the type of protagonist the Doctor is, he's not a god or a superhero, he's a doctor, and his job is to aid the people and deal with the immediate life-threatening situation and offer advice on how to proceed going forward. And it's up to them to decide whether they want to take it, and this is an example of where they don't. But I also appreciate in regards to technically having the moral high ground with the Doctor, still putting aside his issues with them to try and save them anyway. It's like the Idiot's Lantern but done correctly, because the episode has enough maturity to admit that these people don't really want to be saved and haven't really done the work to deserve it. That's why I appreciate that we don't actually see what happens to them. It's not right to criticise the Doctor for not doing more, because the entire episode, he's being pushed out by this community because of their ideals at every turn. The fact that anyone made it out of fine time at all is down to the Doctor, and they still rejected him, and everything that happened to them was because of their own actions and choices. So it's good that we don't see what happens to them. We can just imagine that their fate is something quite drastic in result of their actions. That's the more mature response rather than seeing them get their just desserts. We know they're not going to make it out there, but that doesn't need to be shown. So, overall, a surprisingly strong story that just gets better with every rewatch. Do I still think I'd like some more guest writers going forward in the next couple of seasons? Yes, though next up is Rogue, so let's see if that mindset is put to the test. What did you think of Dot and Bubble? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.